glasses on, sorry. They're making the print so much smaller these days. I think you all know me. I'm Susan, Tressy's youngest daughter, and I want to thank everybody for attending today. I really appreciate it. When I knew that it was getting close to my mom's passing, I had tried to set down my thoughts. And so I'm going to share this with you of some things I learned about my mom through pictures. Okay, I want to tell you about my mom. I met her one day, 46 years and one day ago. I didn't really get to know her until I was about 8 years ago. Mom and I had never been really close. I had been an eternal teenager, never really thinking about others as people. You know what I mean? They were just, I didn't see myself as them as persons. I saw them as, I didn't see them as having feelings and goals and frustrations and wants. And this is true especially when you start thinking about people as old, and especially as when you're thinking of them as your parents. Then you don't see them as a teenager and as a young person on their own. But I want to tell you a little bit about my mom and how I started seeing her as a person. And I'm a picture nut. Most of the people here know that I'm literally a picture nut. And I've been in the business of portrait photography for over 26 years. And I love to have pictures everywhere. And I'm inviting you all to my house afterwards this, and you'll see what I mean. I'm also a big history nut. I'm in school trying to be a history nut a little bit more, and I hope that someday I'm going to be able to teach. And you're my first audience, so if you guys fall asleep today, then I know I probably should just not continue with school. So please, bear with me. Putting this all together, I decided my mom and I would collect all the family snapshots for all the years. And trust me, you guys are all over the place in these albums. And I thought I'd get an album or two out of it, but I underestimated a bit. Not much more makes me happier than when I can organize things, and even better when we're talking about pictures. It was quite a job finding everything, and my mom and I, we set aside a place in her house on the couch, and every time we went somewhere around her house and we found another picture, we just set it on the couch, the same spot, so that whenever I was ready to start putting the photo albums together, we had them all collected. And that pile got to be really large, and so it was just quite an event to have all the pictures together. When we finally got down to putting the albums together, now mind you, I'm not an artistic person. I'm just straight, let's get the facts together, let's get the pictures together, get the names, the dates, and the stories on them, and then we're good to go. Other people can come back later and actually make the picture albums artistic, but we were happy because the pictures were in the albums, there was names on them, dates on them, we knew who was going on them, and there's some sort of history going on them. Well, a funny thing happened while working on this project together. This took us months and months and months to do. What happened was I was able to see my mom transition from a young girl into a mother and wife and grandmother. Wife, mother, grandmother. And I started to see how my life is transitioning in the same way. I saw myself through her, and I started thinking and remembering what I was like and what she was like, and I could see her more as a person and more as a somebody I might have known, somebody that could have been my peer, somebody in my age group. And it was amazing to be able to see that transformation of my mom. That was just incredible. And I saw my mom. The thing about history and the thing about pictures is when they're taken, that is the moment in time that it happens. That is it. At the moment that portrait is taken, nobody knows what's happening in the future. You don't know nothing. That is exactly as it is. It's frozen in time. And that's part of the reason why I really like portraits. But when I see my mom as a preteen girl, she was beautiful and vivacious, and you can see some of these pictures I put in the memory album. I was just like, wow, what a stunning woman my mom was. That red hair, she must have had the most biggest blue eyes, and just gorgeous. She was also really young, confused, vulnerable. She didn't know what she was going to do with her life. She was from a very strict family, at least I felt it was strict from my point of view, but I mean, maybe in Arkansas, in the South at that time, in the 1930s, might not have been that strict to her, but they were very poor. And my mom finally realized that she was going to have to move away to get anywhere in life. There was nothing there for her. This is 1922, she was born, so when she's a teenager, she's in the late 30s, early 40s. when I just want to briefly tell, especially for the younger crowd here who don't remember what it was like, especially in the South. My mom always said, I'd ask her, Mom, what was going on in the Depression? She goes, there was no depression. We were always poor. There was no transition. We didn't have no radio and newspapers to know that there was a depression going on. We were just poor. And so she didn't realize how poor they were because everybody was pretty poor in that area. And I have one story in her photo album of where her dad was bit by a poisonous snake. A snake. And somebody had to run a mile to find a neighbor who had a car that could come get my dad and grandfather and take him to the hospital. And I mean, there's no running water. They had no TV, no internet, no nothing. No bathrooms, people, no running water. This is the way it was in that time. And we've forgotten how good we have it, I think, in a lot of ways. When they made quilts, and you can see from this first quilt over here on the side, this is her boy quilt. And on the YouTube videos that I have, that's when she's talking about it. That's my favorite quilt. And she has all the names of all the boys and her brothers and cousins and guys in the neighborhood and things. But the muslin you see on there is made of flour sacks or sugar sacks. They recycled everything. There was no waste at that time. I want to tell you that my mom was a total prankster. I remember her telling me about the time she hid her dad's medicine that he kept in the barn, under the hay, in the corner, in the dark. He was so mad at her, he chased her around, from what I understand. She was